Hello everyone and happy International Day of the Girl Child. Today, we join the world to celebrate the power, potential and voice of every girl. This year's theme, The Girl I Am, The Change I Lead, is about recognizing that every girl has something special in her. She has strength, she has creativity, she has leadership, and she has a voice that matters. It also reminds us that every girl child is not just the leader of tomorrow, but she is already leading in her school, in her family, in her community, in small and big ways. And we as women, our major role is to support, mentor, and ensure that these girls shine and grow to become confident leaders. Today, with me, I have two amazing women who are doing wonderful work in the front line of the humanitarian space. By my left-hand side, I have our very own protection coordinator at Care Best Initiative, Ms. Patience Eneshojo Ame. Thank you so much for joining me on this conversation.
It's my pleasure.
And on my right-hand side, I have our amiable clinical supervisor at Care Best Initiative, Mrs. Mercy Oche. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining me.
I'm pleased to be here.
Alright, for the conversation about the subject matter at hand, the girl child, I have some very vital questions that I'll be throwing up for a conversation. Stay with us, and I believe that you will learn so much from here. The first question on my list is, when you hear the theme, the girl I am, the change I lead, what does it mean to you personally? Let's start with you, Inspiration.
Okay. To me, the girl I am, the change I lead, means recognizing my strengths, my voice, and my potential as a girl. Because I was once a girl before I became a woman. It's also me recognizing that I have influence. I have the ability to influence positive change in my community. It's about self-awareness. It's about confidence, and it's about taking ownership of transformation, showing that change begins who I am and the actions I choose to take.
Something she said that struck me. She said she was once a girl before she became a woman, and it strikes the chord of process. So it means that before you attain a certain height, there's a process that it takes for you to get there, and you don't rush the process. You take it step by step. I love that. Thank you so much. Mrs. Mercy?
Yeah, this also speaks to, the team also speaks to the perspective of what women and girls and women bring to the table also. You know, it speaks about girls being able to own up to responsibilities. It speaks about leadership skills. It speaks about self-awareness. It also speaks about how a girl child is able to develop herself for a better tomorrow, not just for herself, but for the generation of women.
That's right. Thank you so much. Talking about responsibility, you have a responsibility to play, even as a girl child. You don't leave the responsibility or the work to other persons, but you have a role to take. And one of the roles I believe a girl child has is to believe in herself, believe in her abilities, that she can also be what she ought to be. Thank you so much. And the second question, quickly, we talk about girls being on the front line of crisis. What real-life examples or experiences show that girls are actually leading change, not just surviving it?
Okay. Girls are actually leading change, not just surviving it. I'll use the Northeast context for example. Like say for example in Borno State, we know that Borno is just recovering from insurgency. I've seen girls move beyond survival to become advocates for their peers. Let's say in some of the communities where we implement projects, I've seen girls take up initiative, leading awareness creation to create awareness and to advocate for their rights and the rights of their peers. And also in IDP settings, I've seen girl child-headed household, where the girl acts as the head of the household, advocating and trying to see the needs of the people in that household are being catered for and their basic needs are being met.
Just to also add to what she just said, in Africa generally, there is a great move of a girl child now leading strong advocacy for education, leading strong advocacy to reduce early marriages and all that. Also creating great awareness within their peers on maybe menstrual hygiene promotion, and so on. So the girl child are doing a lot. Globally, we know about at least 2 major girl child that have moved for a motion. Globally, we heard about Malela, who moved for led the initiative that supported education access, and Greka, who moved for global climate initiative that we all have heard and read about. So a girl child is actually very, very important in the society, and their growth and development cannot be tampered with.
That's right. Thank you so much. The girl child is important. So for our third question, in your opinion, what are some barriers that still make it hard for girls to lead, especially in challenging environments, and how can we change that? Because we know that there are movements, or there are people who have stood up to these impeding conventions, but then we still have a lot of challenges, we still have a lot of problems as regards girls coming up to lead. So what are these barriers, and how can those things be changed?
Okay, I think some of the barriers that girl child face in leading or taking leadership position is number one, I will speak on harmful gender norms, which is seen in cultural restrictions. We see in African settings, it's believed that a girl child is groomed to become a housewife, not to take leadership position. You see that she's been taught to be in the kitchen, to go cook, to go fetch water. She's just being groomed for the home, from the home responsibility, and not leadership roles.
Yeah, to add to what you said now, it's also cut across even the educational side of it. A girl child is being taken to school, but every time there is a ring in her ears down to her head that whatever level of qualifications you attain, you are going to end up in the kitchen. And I heard one man say that in the other room. So imagine saying that to a 13-year-old girl. Imagine saying that to a 7-year-old girl. Then what will be my passion to go to school? What will be my passion to sacrifice for education? Why should I even bother? Why should I bother reading? Why should I bother studying? Why should I bother, topping the class? We already have limited resources for education, which is actually a challenge in addition to what she said. But then imagine that a girl child going to school is already having it at the back of her mind that there are gender norms, there are societal norms that can cause restriction, which will make this education I want to attain not useful. So why should I go? I just want to add to what you were saying. Sorry.
Okay, and also I think gender stereotyping is one of it, because gender stereotypes determines the kind of roles individuals are given in the society. Imagine a girl child wanting to take some courses, for example. They will say because she's a girl child, she shouldn't go for this course, like let's say political science. They will be like, I think they tag female politicians a name. Yes, if you're a female politician, there's a way they look at those genders. So parents tend to not to encourage their children going on that path because of the gender stereotyping in those areas. So I think gender stereotyping is also one of the hinders to girl child leading. And also I think one of the limitations also, or one of the barriers, is limited access to education. The girl child is not granted access to education. Most just like my colleagues stated, most parents believe that no matter the level of a girl child education, she will end up in a man's house and as a man's wife. So why should I bother? Why should I spend that kind of money just for her to come and be somebody else's wife? Let me just spend the money on my male children instead, who will maybe hereafter take care of me and provide for the family. Because of that, the girl child are not sent to school. And most African parents, instead of sending their girl child to school, give them out for marriage to settle family disputes or
collateral.
Okay, thank you. Collateral, yeah. So I think these are some of the barriers girl child face in becoming a leader.
If I may add to your voice, I also want to add limited platforms for mentorship for a girl child. Most at times parents, guardians motivate the girl child to learn handworks. She's just seen as a tool that will be used. Whatever she's getting, it's for the home. There is no mentorship for a scale-up idea. A girl child is trying to stand up for herself, to speak for her peers, and they are seeing her as, will I say, an advocate that is not really. There is a context that is used that is not really advisable. She might tend to withdraw. I also want to speak about the insecurities that she tend to face, not just the physical insecurity, talking about the domestic violence, talking about the emotional insecurity that will come to her because of what is being said to her every now and then, trying to hinder her growth and all that. I also, we have educational insecurity, we have emotional insecurity, we have physical insecurity. You just don't know what the outcome will be. So the girl child is always
to attacks.
She's just vulnerable. And I think these are some barriers that, if addressed, can support the girl child's growth very well.
Yeah, I think one of the barrier to girl child leading is shorting the girl child voices. Like in Africa, it is believed that girl child doesn't have a voice. A man, like, she must come behind a man's voice. Like, it's the man that has to speak, and she is just to follow instruction. So if a girl tends to learn, maybe from a child learns to speak up, they tag her rude, they tag her being irresponsible, tag her being she's supposed to be quiet, she's supposed to be more feminine, just submissive and things like that. But all this, a girl child speaking up and taking leadership role doesn't make her wanting to override the position of a man. Yeah. So I think those are some of the barriers to girl child leading in our context.
I think one of my take home from all these points is that it has a way of limiting the girl child's mind. Why would I bother myself to go through all this trouble if at the end of the day I'm limited to a certain lifestyle?
Yeah.
So this is wonderful. Thank you so much for your inputs. And finally, before we go to the final question, how can we change that? We've listed out the barriers. How can we change that? How can we move forward from this problem?
Okay, I think one of the key thing we should do is invest in girls' child education, because there is a belief that I have that if you train a girl child, you're not training just an individual, you're training a group of individuals, because this girl child is definitely going to be a mother tomorrow, and she's going to give birth to children, and mothers are believed to be the first tutor for their children before the children goes to school. So I think if we invest in girls child education is one way to tackle this issue. And also we should create an enabling environment for the girl child. We should not allow gender stereotyping to limit the potentials that these young girls have. We should create an enabling environment, identify their unique characters and talents, and give them platform for them to grow in those potentials, in those for them to grow, not to limit them and shut them up because of this is what the society is expected of them, so they should follow this pattern. No, I think it's high time for them to break forth and be themselves. I think to be themselves. Yes.
I also want to add that we should create mentorship platforms for girls, and also we, as much as possible, engage with men and boys to create this thriving environment. It's one thing for an environment to be looking so healthy, for it to thrive, but because the opposite gender now, are not aware of the effects and the affect of whatever their actions are towards the girl child, the environment might not be so productive. So as much as we are creating enabling environment for them, it is also advisable to have a sit-up from the other gender, you know, not just the other gender. It will be amazing how mothers can affect that too. Like she said earlier, you know, the mother is expected to be the first tutor for the child, and so a mother that doesn't know the effects of what she is saying to her girl child, so imagine how far it will affect. So as much as we are trying to create those environments, we also need to strengthen those that are around. It's a community solution. It's not just individualized to just the girl child. You face the girl child, forget the boy child, you have trouble. You face the boy child, you forget the girl child, you still have trouble.
Adding to what my colleague said, I think there's a program we run in Care-Based Initiative. We call it Positive Parenting. It has it's a 12 weeks program where we enroll parents on how to treat their children and how to grow these children to become who they are meant to be. And also we also do a program where we call it engaging men in accountable practice, where these men and boys are trained as eyelines for these girls. So they speak and they advocate for the rights of the girls in their family, the girls in their community, and even the girls around them. So I think promoting this kind of programs will help in curbing some of these barriers that we have.
And adding to what both of you have said, I think one of the things that have affected us is the fact that our parents, let's talk about the past now, they didn't know better, and so they gave us what they knew. So if a platform can be created, and like you've mentioned, there's a program that goes to teach parents how to groom their children. If there are more programs that can groom parents and teach them how to parent effectively, I think to go a long way to curb all these excesses that we have. Thank you so much for your input. And the final question now. I love this question because it will be my take home for today.
You have several take home.
Yeah.
It's like the punchline of the whole conversation.
It's alright.
The final question is, if you could speak directly to every girl out there today, especially those going through tough times, what message would you give her? Let me start with this question.
Okay. Let me face the camera when I speak to the girl child. You're bold, you are strong, you are deserving of respect and dignity.
That's right.
You have potentials. You are great. There is nothing you cannot achieve. Put your mind to it and don't let anyone or anything dim your light. Thank you.
Oh my God, you have a light in you, so do not allow anybody to dim your light.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for that powerful punchline. Miss Patience.
Yeah, so to every girl child going through tough time, I would say your situation do not define you. It do not define your worth, and it do not define your future. You have strength, you have courage, and you have a voice that matters. Keep believing in yourself, keep learning, and never stop dreaming. The world needs your light, your ideas, and the change only you can bring to it. So keep pushing.
Oh, did you hear that? There's one thing I will take from that. Aside from everything she has said, do not stop dreaming, because your dreams are valid. And then finally, before I put a stop to this conversation, I will add this to their voices. There's something I tell myself all the time, maybe when I feel discouraged or feel depressed or feel tired of going on. I tell myself that there is no second me. I am unique, I am authentic, I am properly created, I am beautifully made. So there's only one me. There can never be a replica, there can never be a carbon copy. So be you, be original, be unique, be authentic. Congratulations, you are a winner. Thank you.